Hi guys, what I want to talk to you today right now about is trumpet number 6, which in short is a nuclear holocaust of the world. The scripture says when trumpet number 6 is sounded, when the sixth angel sounds, they heard a voice from the horns of the altar saying, "Loose the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates." And the 4 angels were loosed, and they were prepared for a day and a week and a month and a year to slay a third part of men. So first point is that these four angels are released to kill 1/3 of men. It's not a third of the world, it's a third of men. First point being that this might actually be a physical thing. You might actually see a chasm, a sinkhole open up on the river Euphrates as a sign that these 4 angels are being released. That could be one thing. Another point is there's 4 of them. These 4 angels go out to 4 world leaders. Like in the days of Daniel, the angel was contending with the kings of Greece and Persia in Daniel. So the same thing will happen again, is that these 4 angels will go out to 4 world leaders. Now obviously this is not the European or NATO side, because they have many countries that are part of them, okay? And a third part of men, so 1/3 is easy. Divide the number up into 3 and that's 1/3. But here's the thing, it's a third part, it's a third of the people that are still on the earth at that time. Remember, this is trumpet number 6, which is actually the nuclear holocaust. Thing is, how it works is you've got 7 seals, which move immediately onto 7 trumpets. And then 7 bowl judgments right at the very end of the age, after the second passing of the throne. But the first passing of the throne happens seals 6 and 7. It begins in seal 6. He comes down in his throne, Nibiru. He hits earth with a big earthquake. He flips us upside down. Every mountain and island is removed from its place. The government runs to their bunkers. And then God chooses his elect saints, his 144,000 elect saints. And then he catches away up to his throne, this rapture, first rapture, a great multitude of people from the earth, living people off the earth. And they have been saved from the Great Tribulation. And then he locks off of earth. There's a big earthquake. And then it moves directly on to trumpet judgment number 1. So the seals come before these trumpets. So God has passed over and he has already saved a great multitude. The 144,000 lived through the tribulation and they are obviously safe, but this is an extinction level event. this first passing of the throne of Nibiru, which happens on the 6th seal, begins the 6th seal through 7th seal, and there's actually the trumpet judgments as well. But you've got to realise that a great multitude, it says, which no man can number, is caught up to the throne. They have been saved. So a great multitude which no one can number. So this could be in its billions. All the young, all the old, all the weak, all the believers that haven't got a place in the end of the age. There won't be saints like me who are serving through the end times and preaching for God and preaching against the evil. People will be saved from this. He's only chosen 144,000 from all the believers across the world to stay. These are descendants of Israel. These are Jewish bloodline. So my point being is that the population will already be rapidly decreased because of God coming down in his throne to save a great number of them. So over 1 billion, I don't know, because it says no man can number, but it's got to be over 1 billion people are going to be saved up to the throne. They have been saved. So already you've got a massive decrease in the world population. And you know, the trumpet judgments themselves, fire and hail, as we pass through the tail of the throne, and meteorites burning with fire come down and it burns the trees and the grass. People are going to die through that, you know. Trumpet number 2, La Palma volcano collapsing and a massive mega tsunami across the Atlantic. That's going to kill millions, if not billions, of people by itself, wiping out the east coast of America and all the people there. So people are going to die from that. Wormwood, the return of the Black Death comet and the return of the Black Death, that's going to kill people. And I believe that there's going to be a stopgap. I believe that trumpet number 5, it says it's for 5 months. I believe there'll be a stopgap of 5 months, as the ancients said that the Nibiru has a 5-month orbit. So it could actually come past Earth, do a 5 months kind of break, and then come back out again. And that's possible that there might be a stopgap of 5 months between trumpet number 5 trumpet number 6, or not. But anyway, trumpet number 6 is these 4 angels are coming out to destroy a third part of mankind, which are still alive at that time. So you know, it could be we go from 7.5 billion to 5 billion, so you know, or 6 to make it easy. So then, you know, a third of 6 billion is 2 billion. So 2 billion people will die from this, what is a nuclear holocaust. And these 4 angels, like I said, go out to 4 world leaders, and they muster up an army of 200, it says 200,000, which is 200 million in our terms today. So this 200 million man army by this 4-country alliance will go out, and it says because they didn't have cars or nothing in John's day, so he tries his best to try and explain. He says they're like lions, but these lions have just fire and sulfur and smoke coming out from their mouths. So in modern day terms, this sounds very much like tanks. And then he describes another type of, well, another part of this lions which come out, and he says they have tails, and their tails are like serpents, straight, long and straight, and the serpents have heads, and with them they do much hurt. What he's talking about, in my opinion, in modern day terms, what everyone's ready for is obviously truck mounted, you know, intercontinental ballistic nuclear missiles. The lion being the truck, obviously the tail being the missile that's on the back of them trucks, the serpent being the stray missile, you know, projectile, and the head of it being the nuclear warhead itself, and doing much hurt, because these are weapons of mass destruction. So I believe that's what John sees. There's no other thing I can think of. So this 200 million man army, a 4-country alliance, Now, who could this four-country alliance be? The only real powers that can stand against the New World Order, the one world government, which is NATO and Europe, the royal family, the royal Commonwealth, is all part of one group, and they want to take over the world. But the only resistance they have, and I've known this, by the way, since I was born again, 2013. I've known about this. I'm only really doing another video about it is because I'm filling in my video sermon to make sure all my work is complete. Now, this four-country alliance, Russia is the big enemy. And by the way, Russia have got enough nuclear weapons to win World War III by themselves. Over 1,000 nuclear warheads. But they got Russia, you got China, okay, and you've got Iran. Both are now nuclear armed. And also you have North Korea, remember. Four-country alliance, Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran. And by the way, all of them are allies. Russia, big ally with North Korea. They wiped the debt off and everything else. Russia, a big ally with China. And also the link here, which you kind of overshadow, is that Iran is a big ally of Russia. Point number one. But point number two being is that World War III is going to start. They're going to try and start World War III in seal number 2, and that's starting a war from Israel. Israel, the plan of Satan says that it will cause a war between the state of Israel and the leaders of the Islamic world. Now, Israel is only one place, and that's in the Middle East. And Islamic leaders are the Islamic countries that surround him. But the only real Islamic country that is a threat to Israel is, because Syria is not really much of a threat. Most of it has been destroyed by NATO as the the New World Order, one world government. But Iran is a power against Israel and a power, I suppose, against us. So really, Iran is the key to all this. So you watch for a war between Iran and Israel, and this is the beginning of this, I think. Like I said, this has been my belief, my thought since I've been born again, that it would be Iran, not Syria, that causes World War III. So, like I said, Iran will come into a war probably with Israel. Russia will come in to save them because of that ally. China will come in to save them. North Korea will come in as part of that. And this is this alliance. So the four angels come out from the river Euphrates. They come out to destroy a third part of whoever's left on the earth at that time, number-wise. They come out and they go out to the four world leaders, Russia, North Korea, China and Iran, I believe. And then they muster up an army of 200 million who are armed with tanks, fire coming out their mouths, and nuclear weapons. The lions, which have tails, which are like serpents, which do much damage. And that is basically it. For that, obviously hard times, but we know it's coming. People are not armed with nuclear weapons up to the teeth not to use them. We invented guns, we used them. We invented tanks, we used them. Planes, we used them. Nuclear weapons, we'll use them. And World War III is the last World War. And from that, one world government will establish their kingdom and rule in the world from Israel. A new money system under that as well. And so that the Antichrist can sit and rule the world from Israel. There has to be no other superpowers in the world. That's what their goal is to wipe all the superpowers. And by the way, that means Britain, that means America, that means they want to wipe out Russia, China as well. They want to wipe out all the superpowers so that they can rule the world from Israel. And that's it, basically. That Israel becomes the ruling state of the world, and the Antichrist will be the king. So when Prince William is crowned king of the empire here, after World War III, they will take over the whole kingdom from Israel as well. and they will rule all of that part. And the Antichrist will be something of like a Messiah as well. And if you think about it, NATO coming in at the side of Israel all fits into place. That NATO will come in to save Israel from his Islamic threat, which is a load of rubbish. It's been lies ever since 9/11. But I'm not going to digress into all that. ISIS is a lie. ISIS just means mother of the Antichrist, basically. So someone that will give birth to the Antichrist, who is Horus, the one-eyed. The one-eyed Antichrist. So ISIS probably will be a part of it. Already has been a part of it, but ISIS may be a part of this World War III trigger as well. And after another thing to add as well, just as a bonus, you can check my other videos on it, but after they trigger World War III in Israel, that is when the Dome of the Rock will be destroyed. After Seal 2, which is War Outbreak, and Seal 3, which is the market money collapse, that's when the Dome of the Rock is destroyed. That's an extra, and that's not from the Bible, that's some other source which I found, which... If something fits the Bible, I believe it. If something doesn't fit the Bible, I don't believe it. So, anyway, I've been Pastor Justin Roberts from End of the Age Bible Prophecy. God bless you all. Amen.